Shank that ball.
Shank that ball.
That's a classic.
What's up, people? Jay here. Thank you all for tuning in to PWF Empire. I'm here along with Charlie, Lucas, and Dalton. We got back from SummerSlam not too long ago. We were actually in the Barclays Center watching the show right there live in attendance. And man, we got to see what was a balls to the wall, awesome main event. It was a match that I was really looking forward to. It was just the only thing that has been really captivating me and just grabbing my attention in WWE lately. It was the Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. That was the main event of the show, and Brock Lesnar walked in as champion, and he also walked out of that match as champion. So I know that was the last match on the show, but we're actually going to open up this video discussing that one. Man, thoughts?
So we have no other choice but to open up discussion talking about it, because quite honestly, going into this yesterday, we could say it was a one-match show, and it didn't turn out to be that way this evening, but clearly nothing else on the card was going to come even close to sniffing how good this match was. There were just so many moments about this car wreck of a match. Strowman throwing the chair at both Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. The spear on the barricade on the outside. Strowman putting Lesnar through 2 tables and then tipping the other table over. Haven't seen that.
When the crowd was chanting, "One more table," even though there were 2 more. Like, I was looking at that Raw table, like, okay, you
can still use that one.
Like, go. It's up there, just waiting.
I was looking at Jay like, go up there. Go up there.
But, yeah, this wasn't even a car wreck. This was a fucking train wreck. This was a plane wreck. This was all the above. It was one of those weird things where it's like, you look at this match and on paper you see those big dudes, these big names. This match is going to be freaking awesome. And you go in expecting something, but still being surprised by how everything played out. The fact that this match was even happening at all, I was astounded. Like, I kept looking at Lucas like, holy shit, this match is actually happening, and we're right here watching this thing. It was what I expected, but at the same time surprising, just awesome, all around great stuff.
Yeah, the highlight for me, my favorite moment from this match was when all the officials line up. You just see bodies laying everywhere, a stretcher, just fucking mayhem surrounded at ringside, and the fans are going nuts. Like, that's how good this fucking match was.
Yeah, we tried to fit in every single chant in the history of wrestling.
Yes.
Like, even a nah, 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 hey, 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 goodbye.
No, that
for
one
Brock
made
Lesnar.
it. That one made it.
Yeah, then, like, cheering him when he came back. Like, we're glad to see you go, but we're happy to see you come back, too. Like, it was insanity.
Oh.
It's alright.
No, he's joking. Don't believe it.
Yeah, as you hear him through the video and you hear that his voice is like almost
he was going
gone.
nuts for that match.
Yeah, he was going nuts for the match.
Pretty sure he was booing Roman, by the way.
But speaking of that, one thing that you said to me when we were sitting there, this was towards the end of the match, you were like, I want to cheer for the guy, but they're making it hard for me. And the reason why I think you said that is because he kept doing the goddamn Superman punch over and over and over again. Like, dude, we have seen you in matches. We know that you got some tricks in the bag that you can pull out in different moments, but for them to go to that well so often, it was at a point where we were cheering for Roman Reigns
at the start.
2 of the few people in the whole freaking building that were cheering for Roman Reigns at the beginning of the match. Then towards the end, it's like
we ended up turning on him.
Yeah, we didn't turn on. They turned on us. They pushed us off the damn bandwagon. We didn't jump off. They pushed us.
When you're trying to shove this ideology of Roman Reigns being something that he's not, and you're trying to make us believe that's who he is, I'm not going to accept it. Like, we've seen the best side of Roman Reigns, the badassery of Roman Reigns, and in this fucking match, this fatal 4-way was where he needed to deliver the most and show that aggressive side that we've seen from him lately, and they don't deliver with that. That was highly disappointing.
I didn't see any non-mic work. It was just like he was
terrible.
He was at the bottom of the barrel in this match.
He was like a freaking robot. I mean, Braun Strowman overshadowed him.
Yeah, Braun Strowman overshadowed
everybody.
Yeah, this was Braun Strowman's match.
Yeah.
This was his match. I was at one point like, give Braun Strowman the Universal Championship, give him every championship, give him the universe, period. Just give it all to Braun Strowman because he was fantastic here. Just a very commanding presence. And it was so wonderful how this match was booked because it gave me great hope for the future. Having someone like Brock Lesnar and who he is sell in the way that he did for Braun Strowman. It's very clear that WWE was intent on having some of what Brock Lesnar brings to the table rub off on Braun Strowman. And it's very important when Brock Lesnar is a guy that you can't have there every week, or for whatever reason, he's not there every week. Braun Strowman, he can be. So, yeah, utilize that star power that Brock Lesnar is bringing to the table and spread the wealth around.
Strowman became a star tonight.
Did you?
Before tonight, I had a problem always with Braun and him interfering.
A bullshit one.
In Roman's, interfering in Roman's business. But after tonight, if that's the direction they're trying to go with Roman again, fuck that. Like, I'm jumping on the Braun Strowman bandwagon at this point. I mean, what else can I say about him? You know.
This was good stuff.
Yeah. And did you hear how well, or in the early going, how heavily cheered Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar were when they made eye contact after Joe and Roman got, pushed out of the ring? We're cheering just at that confrontation, and then they got booed whenever they came back in. Like, no, let it be, let it breathe. Like, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, this was Strowman's standout performance easily. Like, if you weren't a fan before, you have a reason to be looking at this guy now.
I could possibly see something like Paul Heyman maybe demanding a one-on-one match, Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman next.
Or the other way around, maybe Strowman demands it himself.
I would love to see it from
Heyman?
Yeah,
but
from that perspective.
Why would he do that, though?
Because if you look at the way that Braun challenged Brock in this match, knowing how cocky Brock is, it's like, okay, instead of me waiting for you to come to me, I'm going after you.
Yeah, but
like I'm going on.
He needs to do that. He backed down the last time that Strowman called out Lesnar.
And wouldn't that be awesome for who Braun Strowman is too? Like, talk about spreading that star power. If you have somebody like Brock Lesnar calling you out.
I don't think he would do that though, because we saw how Joe came this close to beating Lesnar at the last pay-per-view, and Heyman was just trying to make sure he avoided Samoa Joe. So
good point.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I don't think that would make sense storyline-wise.
He did a good job of avoiding Samoa Joe tonight. I could have used more Joe in this match.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Samoa Joe was fourth on the list, not really by his own doing, but
yeah, his role was, I guess, limited the most. But it's like, for what you did do, I guess the thing is, I didn't see enough of Samoa Joe. I saw too much of Roman Reigns. Too much of that goddamn Superman punch.
I mean, personally, I felt I saw too much of Strowman, which was good, but
Superman punch City.
Yeah,
which is interesting because at a point where Brock and Roman were in the ring, there were people behind us chanting, "Just one move, just one move." I'm like, well, shit, who are you talking about? Like,
yeah, because Brock was doing one move too.
Brock does a belly to belly and a German. That's two.
Okay.
It's
slight.
It's a suplex.
It's not a slight variation. One is from behind and one is phrasing.
Suplex. Okay. So, the Miz and the Miztourage versus the Hardy Boyz.
Make no
and
mistake.
Jordan.
Just because I'm wearing these things and I'm a Jeff Hardy fan doesn't mean this match was any good.
It was fine.
This was embarrassing.
Jason Jordan, when he gets like pumped up, I like it.
How do you guys even remember this shit? I was on my phone the whole time.
I remember he had on green, matching Matt Hardy.
The arena wasn't even. It was still empty.
The best thing to come out of this match was a hilarious tweet from somebody who posted a picture of the Miz with like the empty section behind him, saying like, that was pretty much read, "When you finally pay your dues and wrestle a match in front of 50 people." And just with the history of the Miz and the fans of the Miz, I thought that was very clever. So yeah, but they start the show, right after they open doors. So that's what happened.
Yep, that match happened.
And the poor fucking Hardys had to dance to the ring that they were still on.
Did they piss somebody off? What's going on?
No, just the guy that was supposed to fight got hurt. So that's pretty much it. So
I keep forgetting about that. Thanks for reminding me.
So now they're here.
Okay, and the next match.
Can we talk about the fact that the Miz pinned Jason Jordan? Wow.
That did happen.
That was weird. But okay.
Because that's supposed to be the program that's going to come out of this, I would assume. Yeah, so,
Miz is not going to get Jordan over. I'm sorry, but that guy was set for Philly from the beginning. So.
See, I said early on that I don't even care what happens now. It's all about the heel turn.
See, this Kurt Angle son thing is just like...
It seemed very weird because it's difficult to have people buy into that in the year 2017. Like, we know that's not his real son.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those angles that's just like too preposterous. Like, I will accept Bray Wyatt appearing from nowhere in the middle of the ring, but I will not accept the thought that Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's kid. And that's not fair, but life's not fair.
And Kurt Angle doesn't even do a good role of like, just representing.
Oh, yeah.
He just, oh, hey, okay, I'm going to put you in a match. Bye. The fuck? You're the GM. I mean, I know that's your job, but that's your son.
Yeah, it's like the connection isn't even like fortified enough to warrant him being on Raw. Like, okay, well, you took him off of SmackDown, put him on Raw. For why?
After this big deal of your life changing. Okay.
Okay, next up we have the Cruiserweight Championship match. Neville versus Akira Tozawa. Neville, King Neville, he regained his crown.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the match, I'm like, put some respect on the King's name. He's like, he doesn't even have gold. He doesn't even have a crown. Well,
technically, he still doesn't have gold.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. Purple is a color of royalty, so it fits.
Crown royal is purple.
Let's get some silver.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because of the stupid chants that we were all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He kept trying to get the Titus. I'm gonna let you do it.
Ura, ura, ura.
No. That's better than what you were doing. You were making random ass noises like. Like,
hey, was I really?
No, I forgot about that. Fuck this match.
It
was a good match, but I blame him.
We were trying to get.
Why do you blame me?
Was that why you were like, yeah, let this be the finish?
Yeah, you were begging.
Every spot, let this be the finish. Let this be the finish. We were trying to get a chant started because you know how Titus O'Neil has his chant, and then Tozawa has his too. So he would go, I'd go,
yes. And so anytime someone hit the top
on.
rope, I was like, just hit the fucking move, man. Like, just go home.
It was a two-man party, and Lucas's hurrah right there was better than what he was doing.
I'm like,
it sounded like
how do I hack into a
No, I was doing the
earpiece?
same.
No, you were not. No, you were sounding like you were dry heaving. Like that was not the dog bark.
And you guys wouldn't let me know? Okay, I see how it is.
But yeah, Neville, he has his crown back. Good.
Makes me wonder why they took it. No, I know why they took it off. It's a wow factor. They had to end Neville's undefeated streak just to give Tozawa a reign for 6 days and then put it back on Neville in the first place.
Well, it worked because now he's over. Well, probably just for tonight and tomorrow because it's Brooklyn.
Yeah, no. I'm glad the title's back on Neville, but I kind of wish this never would have happened in the first place.
Okay, and the final match, I'm going to call this the main event of the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
This was a tag team championship match, SmackDown tag titles. The Usos versus New Day. Usos end up defeating New Day, and they regain the tag team titles. This match was
fucking wonderful.
This was amazing. It really was.
Like, the near falls in this match were nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they friggin' did the thing where Xavier put Big E on his shoulders. And like, the one thing I know is that when you kick out of something, whatever you do at the end has to top everything you kicked out of. And I looked at it and I was like, how are you going to top the people going nuts for that? And then they were like, you know what, Charlie, sit your fucking ass down and watch the rest of the goddamn match. And they did, and it was wonderful. And
there were just so many near falls to the point where I got completely lost in the match because I didn't know where it was going to end. And at any of those points, what happened was so impactful that either of those things could have been the ending. And the fact that they were legit moves to end a match, I was like, God damn, and it kept going and I kept loving it. Like, everything that they were doing, it was awesome. Two very charismatic teams going head to head, and it's great to see that charisma that they can display and their swagger and on the mic, and it can extend to their movements and the physicality and the ring too.
Yeah, Usos winning was a surprise for sure.
Certainly glad that Usos won. Going into this, the New Days and the Usos have had great matches thus far, and this I think is the best of their 4 pay-per-view matches that I've seen. There was a super kick party. Big shout out to Big E for doing the spear through the ropes safely, because God knows every time we see him do that, we cringe. But he tucked his shoulder, he rolled. So shout out to Big E, he's safe. Great near falls. Definitely a match that woke the crowd up. While the other 2 matches didn't, do much for the crowd, this one certainly had people on the edge of their seats.
Now that I think about it, why wasn't this shit on the freaking main card compared to the stupid Orton and Rusev? Replace that shit and put it on the pre-show. And then
you're asking to replace a 15-minute match with a 4-second match.
Right.
The timing doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well,
if
also the day Randy Orton wrestles on the pre-show.
I mean, he needs to be.
Well, shit, if the Hardys can, why can't Orton?
This match deserved better, but ultimately, if it wasn't here, the pre-show would have been absolutely worthless.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm glad I'm glad we made it there in time to watch all the pre-show, because this...
Which, by the way, went pretty quickly for some reason.
The first couple of the first 4 or 5 matches got eaten up in the first half hour of the actual show, as we'll see that played out. But yeah, great match, this one.
Oh yeah, and Xavier Woods, he was the MVP here.
Yeah, I was going nuts for that guy. I was like, damn, he's doing everything here.
Yeah, he was bouncing all over the place. Okay, and now we move on to the main card. This first match was John Cena versus Baron Corbin. John Cena defeats Baron Corbin, and yeah, that right there. That probably wasn't intentional.
It wasn't.
This match was a hot ass mess.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, this was my worst match of the evening.
There were a few that were worse than this.
Shoot. Let's be honest. From the opening of the main card, this was not a very good opener as far as that goes. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Baron Corbin was buried. That word gets overused far too much.
No, he was buried.
But he looked strong in the opening of the match, and then he got put away with 1 AA. And I understand, that move is protected. That's fine. But there was a point in the match where I saw Baron Corbin getting momentum. He's ripped his shirt off and he got heckled because smile on his stomach. It is what it is. But there was a point where he was actually showing some aggression, showing as if he was angry because this is the person who helped aid his loss of the briefcase, and you had an opportunity to do something better with Baron Corbin, and ultimately it didn't work out for him. So
he's screwed.
I don't think he's totally gone, since John Cena is not going to be on SmackDown anymore anyway. They had to put a finite, a cap on this feud, but this was not a good match.
You lose the briefcase, and a few days later you get buried by Cena in the same week. No, he's done.
The problem with this match was that it never really caught on with the fans. I think that the fans,
they were expecting something else to open the show.
I guess I would say that they maybe wanted to, and this is given a lot to the New York crowd. They wanted to be entertained, and every time you had a spot in the match where it felt like they were pulling the crowd in, it would slow down immediately after. The pace would just revert to some stage where it's so damn slow, and it's hard to maintain someone's attention when you're doing that. A big moment would happen, he hits a deep 6, and then after that it's slow, or there was this one point in the match where Baron Corbin was giving it to John Cena, but it's there was no sustained portion of this match where it was rocking on all cylinders, and they suffered greatly because of that. And when at the end I was that was it. Well, shit, maybe it should have been it, because if that's all they could do up to that point, I don't think I wanted to see anymore. So yeah, this was not a good match at all.
I mean, Cena opening a show was surprising, but that was pretty much
maybe he has somewhere else to be.
Yeah, Hollywood John.
Yeah, this was a shame. Okay, what do we have up next? Natalya versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Natalya, surprisingly, wins this match. She made Naomi tap out to the sharpshooter.
First of all, I'm a big believer in that if you tap out, you don't get the right to cry that you lost. If you don't want to lose, just don't tap out. I know it hurts, but just pass out or
Yeah,
something.
pass out. Then you can cry.
Then you can cry.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's like I didn't fail my body failed me.
Yeah, like you didn't push yourself to the absolute max. You quit. If you lose, you're a loser. You lost. That's it.
Like all of that force that you were using to like tap, you could have like pulled yourself to the ropes or something.
Yeah. So I don't like the crying after you lose when you tap out. You gave up. You didn't get knocked out. Get knocked out and then cry.
See, that's my homegirl though. She did have a nice coat that she came out with.
She
Naomi-
did a nice thing. She had a nice leg drop.
Yes.
That was nice. And a nice.
Yeah.
I ran out of spots. I remember it was a while ago.
I was hoping for Carmella to come out just
No.
to piss Dalton off.
Yeah, I'm
See,
certain.
I
that-
kept telling Jay, like, watch out for this sharpshooter. Like, when this thing's on too long, like, you're gonna have to start worrying. And then she tapped out, and I was like, oh.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I really did have to watch out for sharpshooter.
So my thinking was, like, if she's in that sharpshooter and then wins, like, you're gonna get the
You
back
see
injury.
this, like, she's like holding up the belt with one hand, has the other hand on her back.
Yeah,
and then
like, that's like,
music hits.
panic mode.
There's the visual cue to have Carmella come running in, and I'm certainly glad she didn't show up. I anticipated, being that this match was not the strongest women's match you could have put together on SmackDown, that we were going to see a Carmella cash in. And Lord knows I didn't want to see that. But thankfully, I get to live another day and have to wait for some other opportunity.
There's still SmackDown this Tuesday.
Lord have mercy.
But good for Natty. I like Natty.
Yeah, this was good.
Natty's good people.
This was a good match.
She's eyeing.
She's a very nice person.
How many years has she been around again?
A lot.
She's
So,
been around for a long time.
so why should we be celebrating?
Like 9. Shut up.
Her time should have come a long.
I mean, she was a
freaking
Divas
time.
champion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who remembers that crap?
Clearly he did.
I mean,
Yeah.
you just made the point.
But it was the Divas title.
But good for Natty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
At least it's, you know what? You're not Carmella. Good for you, Natty.
That's all it takes, really?
Yeah.
See, I don't mind Carmella.
She's good.
Wasn't she a cheerleader for the Patriots or something?
See, she's good people.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
we
you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why you know.
Mm-hmm. See, I know. All I have to figure out next is what this guy over here in Paige. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
It's easy. I explained it.
Now we'll figure it out, but onward and upward. Next up, Big Cass versus Big Show. This was a match where Enzo Amore was suspended above the ring in a shark cage. And here's the thing about it. Okay, whatever happened, I think Big Cass defeated Big Show, yeah. With Enzo,
Let's just put it this way. Enzo was not about to have Baron Corbin look like the biggest idiot on the show.
the thing about the booking of Enzo, it's like the bookers continue to put him on TV, but they don't like him. So it's like instead of keeping you backstage, keeping you off TV, we're going to put you on TV just to make you look like a dumbass.
Well, his segments do well and people like him, so you might as well run that into the ground and just
Yeah.
try to get his head kicked off.
Mm-hmm. And I can say that for the most part, I didn't really pay attention to this match because I was just looking at what Enzo was doing in the shark cage, like bouncing up and down in the damn thing, dancing, doing the running man, and then, of course, he like slathered baby oil all on himself and slipped right out. And yeah, I was paying attention mostly to what he was doing in this one. But Big Cass, he won with a big boot. I'm glad that he went for a second try in the big boot because that first one was just the drizzling shits.
That was weak.
Yeah.
Roman Big Cass. I figured it out.
What about
Well, he's been giving me shit all day about like, oh, what do you do with Roman now?
a few?
No,
Oh, God,
Lord, no.
That's a train
I'm not
wreck.
booking it. They are. All right, bitch at them, not me.
That sounds
That's
nasty.
horrible.
You really think that's what they might do?
Sure.
What a demotion for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he's 7 feet tall. And I don't know if you know this, but you can't teach that.
I mean, Roman pulled something out with Big Show at Extreme Rules a couple of years
Can't
ago.
teach
but,
natural mic skills either.
but shoot, I don't have faith.
See, I don't know why they had to break these two up. Like, it was magic, you know.
Because he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that.
They need to teach him not to sound like a hostage when he's doing promos.
That's the one thing I can say. The go home show.
You know who would make a great promo for him? Carmella. So just wait till the draft, all right? They'll figure it out.
If
Have her
Carmella,
generate that heat to him.
I may stop watching their segments
See,
altogether.
he's going to come on SmackDown, he's going to kick James Ellsworth's head off, and she could even fail her cashing because of James Ellsworth, just like as you want, and then Cass is going to show up from the draft and be like, the fuck, man? And then he's going to kick him in where his chin's supposed to be, and then
they take over SmackDown and he becomes a world champ.
So, any thoughts on this match, though?
No, I mean, let's talk about something
I went
else.
and got food, then ate my food, and then saw Enzo get kicked in the face. That was...
This
Yeah, didn't this promo get cut off, too?
I have no idea.
Enzo was talking as he usually does, and mid sentence, Cass came out. So
Yeah, and I think he said something like basically he's a better talker than Cass as a wrestler. So
which says a lot. Enzo's a better talker, of course, but yeah, this did no favors to anybody involved.
if Enzo was like a foot taller, that dude would be.
I would have liked to just see Cass big boot Enzo while he's heading
It's gotten to a point. It's gotten to a point where when he tries to be physical, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're a fucking toy. You know, like that's how unbelievable it is when he tries to defend himself at this point. So,
Okay.
He's going to have a great feud with Neville.
Next match was basically 10 seconds long. The pre-match segment was longer than the actual match itself. We had Randy Orton making his entrance, and then he was attacked by Rusev. The referee ends up ringing the bell, and Randy Orton hits him with an RKO out of nowhere that we all saw coming from a mile away. And Randy Orton wins this match.
I laughed.
This happens.
I thought it was funny.
I popped for the pre-match brawl, and not realizing that the bell hadn't rung, because I was like, why is he backing off? But yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. Sucks for Rusev. This match wasn't even a match.
see, I had negative thoughts about this match going in, but once Rusev did what he did to Orton before the match, I was willing to give it a chance because I felt like the energy was being built for that match, and then for them to just hit us in the face with it, and he hits that RKO, I'm like, come on, the fuck?
They're not gonna let Randy Orton lose 4 times in a row.
No, I'm not talking about win or lose. I'm just saying the match itself could have possibly gotten the fans more excited.
They only wanted to see an RKO.
You know what? If this went 10 minutes, then I would have been there till 11:10. So this was good.
I retweeted something from someone named Joshua Pete on Twitter. He says Rusev died so we wouldn't need to watch a full-length Randy Orton match, and that's the most noble cause we could ask for. Yes, Rusev, you went down a hero tonight.
We did chant Rusev Moscow, so.
See, I would have joined in that chant, but it's not good.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Okay, yes, Rusev, homie. So what do we have next? Sasha Banks
This is
versus
bullshit.
Alexa Bliss.
This was upsetting.
The WWE Raw Women's Championship match. We had a bunch of haters in the Barclays Center
No,
because
you see, you don't even care that much. You're just glad because you were supposed to do that last year at WrestleMania, and then Charlotte inexplicably won the match, so you're just getting back your heat.
no, Sasha Banks, her position is solidified. We may not have been like popping, but for me, Sasha Banks is like eternal. She's done enough to be my home.
You've developed an equity with her, even if she's not being presented in the most pleasant way.
What he just said, right?
I think you just get your heat back.
Sasha Banks, she wins. She makes Alexa Bliss tap out, and we have a new women's champion. So second time tonight, the champion taps out, has to give up that title.
This is still BS.
I was unhappy.
Yeah, I posted something on Twitter with all of them with their little stink faces.
Oh yeah, we were the three that were just like, the fuck.
Jason,
and he's over here.
Jay's sitting here dancing, getting his swag on. Charlie's looking at his
Dude,
phone.
Alexa Bliss saved Raw. Well, for the women's division.
Yeah, she saved Raw and then and ruined
My
Bayley
takeaway-
and Sasha Banks.
My
in the
takeaway
process.
from this was that I was very upset, and that holy crap, they ruined Bayley. Like they showed her on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Match. Wow.
You know who helped them ruin Bayley?
Canada.
Alexa Bliss.
That's fine. Alexa's a saint, so everything's fine.
In real life.
You know what also helped ruin Bayley? That This Is Your Life segment featuring Alexa Bliss.
Alexa didn't want to do that. You know for damn sure
She had to do it.
If she had
no
a
choice.
voice, she would.
She tried.
She did the best she could with that.
Yeah, she's the one that actually carried that segment because Bayley was just.
Yeah, carried it to the trash can.
Well, hey, at least she's talented at something still.
She didn't write it.
Oh, now we're using that.
She's a garden rose, Jay.
Is that what Justin used to say about AJ?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God. So Sasha Banks here. What? Any thoughts on the action in this match?
It was solid.
It was alright.
There's nothing I can complain about. I enjoyed it.
It was good stuff.
I wanted them to go out and just destroy each other, but
At the beginning of the match, they were pretty much doing that. They were rocking.
I wanted more flips and shit.
I wanted to say though, there was a point where you asked me, was it them that had real life heat? And that's something I've heard from Cass and read around the internet. And the one thing I did notice is they were very snug with each other at the beginning of this contest. And I don't know if that was just them trying to raise crowd morale, or if it stems from the fact that they legitimately don't like each other. But I don't enjoy that.
I don't think they have heat on each other. I just think it's a competitive thing. Like, you know, they try and outdo each other every time they go out to the ring. So I would say among the line of competitiveness as opposed to just them two really having some sort of beef.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case because Alexa Bliss was down in NXT with all of the Four Horsewomen stuff and just like watching it all play out from the background, and she never really got her shot on that level in NXT.
And now she's better than them all except Becky.
Wonder why that's the.
Well, where is Becky?
Is Becky even on the show?
Yeah, where is Becky?
Was Charlotte?
She's pretty much being Charlotte's
I don't
bestie.
care about Charlotte, but
She's in the same boat as
Charlotte is
right
her
now.
bestie, and they are hilarious. Okay, calm down.
I need some fire from my queen.
Alexa was on the show. She had pink hair. It was pretty fiery.
well, Sasha.
That is not my queen.
Didn't Sasha have? No, she
That
had
is-
purple.
You're right.
Sasha was wearing the watermelon
She's-
attire this evening.
That was magenta from Sasha.
She's the guy.
I don't know my colors apparently.
I will say I like when the hair is worn down. I don't like the ponytail.
I mean, come on.
Duly noted.
We got to go back to the hair down. We won with the hair down, so we're gonna go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, he's one of these weird sports fans. It's like, oh shit, this person lost the game with their beard, so you got to shave the beard off.
Well, Tom Brady did it like 3 years ago, and it worked. So like, but that's the thing. Like, she's got the hair out.
See?
You know, the hair's out of the way. Sasha locks in that thing. We go back to the drawing board. We're gonna study the tape, figure out. It looked like Sasha got a shoulder injury. We're gonna try to get the rematch going soon. Capitalize off that. You know, she's not gonna be able to lock in that bank statement if that shoulder's really injured. So we're gonna let that play out. And, we're gonna get back to the drawing board, and we'll get that contract signed, and we'll be in the championship picture again.
Want to be the referee while you're at it?
That sounds like
No,
every.
I think if he's going to be the referee, we need 2 referees, and I'll be the other one.
So you can't do that though,
Why not?
because then you know there won't be a finish.
See, I'm just an advocate.
Okay.
Hear that, Smojo? I'm an advocate. Don't kick the shit out of me.
Okay, next up we have the Battle of the Entrances. The Demon Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
I thought we got the WWE title match when you said that. I was like, yes, those 2 entrances were cool. But
Okay.
this, I also went to go get food after the entrance, and I missed most of it, but from what I saw, it was exactly what it had to be.
The thing about this match is that from the standpoint of like physicality, what actually happened in the match, I cannot say anything negative at all. It's just that for what these characters should be at, pretty much everything that I said in the preview show, I'm disappointed in the structure of those characters. Therefore, I couldn't really get invested in anything that was happening in the match.
They played a video patch before this, and every time Bray spoke in that thing, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, I could not piece together what the hell was going on.
I don't think even he knows at this point. As far as this match goes, can't say anything really bad about it. It was simply booked for the visual appeal of Bray Wyatt versus the Demon Finn Balor. I'm not really a fan of the fact that they told us it was going to be the Demon beforehand. I'd rather it have been speculation. I would have made the entrance just a little bit more appealing, in my opinion. Good in-ring work, nothing really to critique there. I just wish both characters were more compelling. This match should be a dream match. It was David's dream match, and I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask him about that too.
It's honestly, it's just the look, the appeal. Because visually, if you watch this match on mute, well, no, if you just pause this at the moment that Finn and Bray are both standing in the ring, okay, that's really cool. But yeah, this match did nothing for me. Nothing wrong, but nothing for me either.
Second year in a row, we get the Demon King at SummerSlam, and for the second year in a row, his match is overshadowed.
Hopefully that's where the second year in a
His
row
match
stuff
was
stops.
great last year. What the hell? Are you
I mean, do you remember anything from?
The injury.
well, yeah, and then there was. Sure, like, but do you remember anything from half of the good matches that WWE ever puts on?
Well, you said it was good.
Yeah.
I remember the crowd crapping on it.
Exactly.
Crapping on the title.
I can't remember anything else, to be honest.
I remember them playing Scooby-Doo in the build-up.
Oh God.
What?
No, where is the Demon King? You know,
Oh.
Where in the world is the Demon King?
I didn't watch the build up, so that doesn't. I don't care.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Good match, but
Who cares?
that entrance though for the Demon King, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Can't take anything away from his entrance. I love, everyone loves doing that. But
Okay. From there, we move on to the Tag Team Championship match, the Raw Tag Titles. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
This was also
This was fantastic. It was
Thank you.
wonderful. 2/3 of the Shield reuniting. I marked out during this match there just seeing Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins together again, just knowing their history in WWE, members of the Shield, they move on to being mortal enemies, and then the road that they have to travel, the rocky road to get back to where they are right now, seeing them interact with each other once again. We all know how well they can interact with each other, but being able to see it once again in the year 2017, it was just wonderful. It truly was.
it goes without saying that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have chemistry together because, well, shoot, they used to be part of the same faction. They've been up and down the road with each other millions of times, so of course they fit together like glue. A lot of their movement was fluid, and you might have, if you have never seen The Shield before and just saw these two in the ring, you would certainly see why they fit together as well as they do. And this match, physically wise, absolutely delivered. Sheamus and Cesaro are very snug workers, and there were a couple points in this match where I was legitimately worried for all of their safety, especially that finish with the Hurricane Rana into like a headbutt, and someone was on someone's shoulder. I don't really remember who went down, but that just looked absolutely insane. And shouts out to Cesaro, the MVP of the night, for destroying the fucking beach ball.
Oh, yeah.
So someone in the crowd, earlier in the evening before this match, was playing with a beach ball, but it landed over by where the hard camera is, and we thought that was the end of it. But then it got brought back again during this match, and I'm like, motherfuckers, you had 4 shitty matches you could have done this for.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do
all
it,
of the matches.
why do it during
And
this
then you
match?
start, you were like, they were like beach ball, maybe.
And I said not for this match.
Yeah, not
That
this
made no
match.
fucking sense. I would have supported you if it was for that other crap.
Out of all of the opportunities that you had
You had to pick this one.
2/3 of the Shield,
If you had done this during Alexa's match, I would have been fighting.
Yeah,
I would have been upset too.
and I
But
was
the
looking
match
at
wasn't even 5 minutes in, and they're already. I'm like, no.
I was looking at that beach ball like, let that motherfucker come up here. I'm shanking the hell out of
And
that
the
beach ball.
security guard fucking threw it back at them.
Yeah,
Like, what?
The security guard trying to be trying to get a pop for himself. He, the ball gets to him and he pops it back towards the crowd, and they're playing with the ball. It gets over to like the left of us. Cesaro sees it.
I think like another security guard got it, and it was like, all right, I'm taking this away.
Yeah.
And he just chased down that security guard and was like, give me that. Like, one of you had your chance and you fucked it up. So now
talk about the Swiss Superman. Like that dude. I texted. Steven, our fellow PWF Empire contributor, he texted me like classic NYC crowd, and I texted him back. Cesaro, that he's my homie for life.
Goat.
My homie for life when he did that, because he grabbed that damn thing and just ripped it into pieces. Like it was shredded at ringside.
And I wonder if WWE actually got a shot of that on TV, because sometimes when things are unexpected, I don't know if they actually got a shot of it.
Like that reaction time.
I hope they did.
I
actually
retweeted a gif of it. They got it.
Okay,
Sweet.
awesome.
Okay, cool.
I was saying that I hope they find one of the sections of the beach ball and have Cesaro sign it and put it on auction.com.
I'll bid on it.
And I'm glad that the crowd was thinking the same way
Make
we were.
like $600 off that thing.
Yeah, the crowd was actually.
I ain't bidding that much.
Well, like every time they sign something, like the titles go for like $800 pop. So
Well, I'll be one of the first to bid just to say I did, but knowing somebody else will buy it.
Yeah, but I'm glad that the crowd was actually in support of Cesaro doing that, because I think they all had the same reaction, like, what the fuck? Like, get rid of this thing,
Yeah, up until the main event, that moment was the pop of the night.
Yeah, that was the biggest memory until the main event.
But we did get a fantastic sequence to close out this match.
Yeah.
The
place went bizarre. The place went bizarre when Ambrose and Rollins picked up the victory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I jumped up. I put my tray that I had on my lap with my hot dog down in anticipation, because I could kind of like sense where the match was going. I was like, okay, let me put this down, because if Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins win, I'm jumping the fuck out and I'm going crazy.
You had the wherewithal to put your stuff down. There was a point in the match where I was enjoying what I was watching so much, but I had food in my mouth and I was just like eating a sausage and slapping my chest at the same time.
I remember that.
And I'm like, I want to participate, but I'm hungry.
I remember that. You're like,
no, and he was like doing something like
I
this.
was New Day clapping while eating sausage.
Okay. I was like, look at him. He just wants to participate.
see,
awesome.
They need to come out with the Shield entrance. That's the only thing that's...
No, see the thing, like Charlie mentioned that at some point. He was like, it would have been awesome if they played both guys' themes and neither one came out, and then they played the Shield one. And I, like, if Roman Reigns himself as an individual had a different theme than just a remix version of the Shield theme, I could totally see that as being a possibility. But it's like, his theme is way too close to what the Shield's is for that to
Well,
work.
then there's a simple solution to that, right?
Just put them all together again. I saw where you're going. I'm tracking. Okay, awesome match. And this actually does get me really excited for Raw, knowing that these two are going to be interacting again as tag team champions. So we move from one championship match to another. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. This was the point in the night where the title changes stopped. Because AJ Styles went in as a champion. He walked out of the match as champion as well. And this match had Shane McMahon as a special guest referee. And he got into this match pretty frequently. I was just sitting there like, dude, you need to go stand in a damn corner or something like that, because you're just all up in action. And even in the video package that they have before the match, like Shane would just be all up on them, and then, you know, somebody swings on them or, you know, kicks them or something like that. Like, man, just go stand to the side, or just observe from outside of the ring, just so you can have your safety.
This match was a letdown, to be honest. I was expecting more, and it was actually a clusterfuck. Like, it's just Shane pushing Owens, pushing AJ Styles, and that's it.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point?
Yeah, I'd like to think, well, in the preview video, I would have liked to think that the factor of Shane being in there would have given me enough different from their other matches to call this match worthwhile seeing. But they were also put in a hard position because it's going to be pretty tough to follow the tag match that came just before it. And once again, not a bad match in ring, but nothing really memorable. I think the hokiness of Shane pushing Owens and pushing AJ to give reasonable doubt that you don't know which side Shane is on, that kind of pulled me away from the match. I kind of felt like they were just looking for reasons to have Shane be provoked. There was one point where I'm not sure who delivered a move, but either Kevin Owens or AJ at one point looked like they were going to push Shane outside the ring. And I was leaning over to Jay, like, please, like, get him out of the damn ring. He doesn't need to be in here. Like, sure, you can take a bump, but honestly, this match was a letdown. Not bad. It's a shame to say that AJ Styles was in a match that was a letdown, but it's not really a fault of his own. It's just I've seen this match too many times to be really excited by it, even if it is live.
Oh, it was fine. They did the best they could with this freaking stipulation. AJ in the ring, even in a less than great match, still takes the piss out of everyone else on this roster. It's not even close. And I'm ready for the Bull to move on. See what comes next.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see Owens take on Shane anymore because after tonight, the way they.
Did you want to see it to begin with? Like,
well, I was willing to give it a shot.
Are we not done with Shane McMahon in the ring yet? Like,
hey, he had a good match with AJ Styles.
I don't care.
Okay. Cool.
Fair enough.
And I guess the last match we're talking about here, or the last match y'all are going to talk about here.
See, this is why I try to advocate to go from bottom to top, but y'all start with the main event.
See, I didn't even think about this one because I didn't watch this fucking match, so I don't know. Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a match for the WWE Championship. I said I was not going to watch this match. The only thing that I cared about that was going on here was Nakamura's entrance. I stayed there to watch the entrance, and then as soon as his when his entrance when his music was fading out, I saw the Singh brothers on the stage, and I proceeded to get my ass up out of my seat, and I walked out into what do they call it, like the concourse area where all of the little concession stands are and things like that. And yeah, I walked around for a bit. I got me some popcorn, and yeah.
He stuck to his word, by the way. He's not bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much to say about this. The big thing I had to say is if you're going to put the title on a guy, like, make an effort. Like, this was very short, and it, like, how many times we're going to do, like, the dude is beating up Jinder, and the Singh brothers run in and get the shit kicked out of themselves, and then the dude gets hit with Jinder's finish and then gets pinned. Like, this reminds me of, like, The Miz, where, like, and The Miz was even built up towards the world title and won a lot of things on the way and kind of got to that point. But the second he got that title, it was just like they found every BS in the way of the book to keep the title on him, and none of it really ever adds anything. It didn't, like, the way they would do the Miz just would not add anything to it. It was just a way to, like, not have him have to beat somebody. And they're doing kind of the same thing here. The Singh brothers running in every time just doesn't. There's no story to it. Like, even when Seth Rollins was in that title reign that everybody hated, like, at least there was an angle to Kane being, like, up everyone's ass. But, it was an angle nobody liked, but there was a story there. This is just have the Singh brothers run in, and there's nothing to that. And this was the finish again. He takes out both dudes and then gets hit with Jinder's finish, which got a little messed up, so that didn't help either. And it was short, and so it's like, if the guy's not going to wrestle real-length matches and he's just going to do the same match and you're going to protect everybody and try not to actually have anyone lose to him, then, like, there's no point. Like, if you're going to put the title on a guy, just do it. Like, if he does long matches and sucks, so well. Like, just have him do a long match and beat somebody. You have the title on him for a reason. Like, put some gumption in your decision. Is that a word? Gumption?
That's a word.
Sure. We're wrong with gumption. I want more gumption out of this dude.
Yeah, I think at the end of the match, I looked over at Charlie and asked what time it was. And he said that match might have gone maybe 8 minutes, and that's including the entrances. Not a whole lot to say here. The Singh brothers really aren't a part of Jinder Mahal's character. I can't say what they do for him other than for him to have, well, they're not heavies, they're tinies, but for him to have something to deflect and for him to be able to pick up a cheap win.
They're the way that people versus Jinder can hit their finish without having Jinder kick out of their finish.
Yeah. The one cool thing though, Shinsuke delivering a Kinshasa to the back of Jinder Mahal's head. I haven't seen him deliver it in that manner yet, so I did appreciate that, but obviously it didn't pay off for him. The finish from Jinder was quite sloppy, at least from where we were sitting. It's a shame that they're sticking around with Jinder, but at the same time, you know what? I'm not even going to go that route. I would have rather had Shinsuke win than keep it this way. So maybe he'll get some. Maybe he'll have some gumption.
I would get used to Jinder, or get used to not watching Jinder,
which I have,
because I don't think this is coming to an end anytime soon.
I keep smacking on in the background, anyways.
And it almost feels like they're just forcing for him to be in a situation where he faces the top guy on SmackDown just to get booed and get more recognized. I think that's what WWE is doing.
See, my thing is, like, at this point, I don't care enough to complain. Like, all I want is, like, the title's on him. Just have him beat people. Just have him do a 15-minute match and win. Like, let's just try it once and see how it goes. Yeah. I don't care enough to get, wins, losses. I mean, who cares? So, 2-year anniversary of that line.
Okay. Overall thoughts on SummerSlam?
I am sick and tired of these main roster run times. It's too much. Like, I guess on the network they promoted it would be a minimum of 4 hours, and Lance Storm actually tweeted if they went on there and said it'll be a maximum of 3, that would be far better. It absolutely is. Like,
it should tell you that the show runs too long when if you look on our tickets, or at least when I first bought the tickets, the projected door time would have been 6:30, and obviously the pre-show started at 5. Clearly there were matches here that quite honestly didn't need to be had, in my opinion. I didn't dislike the show. That's not to say that the show was bad, but it was a 3-match show with 1 honorable mention for me. Can't take anything away from the main event, either tag match or Alexa Bliss and Sasha. And for me, yeah, there were 13 matches on the card overall, but if I get 3 good ones on any pay-per-view, no matter if it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or a smaller pay-per-view, if I get 3 good matches, I consider it a thumbs-up show. So I'll give the show a thumbs up.
Something that we talked about on the way to the room was the way that the main event was structured. Like, after that match ended, I was so freaking pumped up. Like, I was waiting for like another match, another show, or something like that, because I felt like, okay, now we got the party started. What's next? Like, I was not ready to go home. Not necessarily saying that I was ready to see, like, I guess not saying that was like the opener or should have been an opener for SummerSlam when we got everything else that we got on the show. It's just like, it was this weird feeling where it's like, holy shit, I'm pumped up. Like, what else you got? Like, let's keep this feeling that we have right now going. And unfortunately, that feeling was not present through much of the show. I still had a fantastic time live, and I'll give credit to the main event and the 2 tag matches because they were freaking awesome. But it's just that there was such a big disparity between that main event and just the hype surrounding it and everything else that we saw on the show.
Well, in terms of it being a cliffhanger, it accomplished the fact that people will want to tune into Raw tomorrow. So on that note, yes, but everyone in the arena just had the same reaction we did. Like, really? This is it? We want more. So it was really weird because, that was the only match that got everyone going. And I think that people took all of their energy out on that match because they were waiting to release it all night. So,
see, Jay and I have been to 3 shows together now, and I still think the best of those, as far as an overall show, is the SummerSlam 3 years ago. And the big thing about that show is that up and down the card, it had good moments, and it finished with a similar big newsworthy main event that left us wanting more, and it did all that within a 3-hour runtime. And so you had, like, I remember, like, Dolph Ziggler beat The Miz for the US or for the IC title, and like the culmination of one of their 19 feuds for the IC title. You had Roman have his first singles match and beat Randy Orton, a pretty good match. Dean and Seth had their first face-off as like an official match.
You're missing the big one.
And then obviously Brock Lesnar beat the living shit out of John Cena.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
And he was.
Brie Bella got elbowed in the face by her sister. That was,
and Charlie jumped through the roof.
Nuts. So I was bought in. So like, but yeah, like there were like big moments up and down the show, and like it was a shorter window, and things kind of came at you fast, and it was kind of like you felt like watching that show that like the whole card was literally the most important things, and it was all necessary. You know, there's like a Bray Wyatt Chris Jericho match on there that I guess didn't need to be there, but for the most part, like you had just a card, and it banged out in a very reasonable run time. And this one, it was just like between the pre-show to the end, I can totally understand why I've never watched a pre-show before, because holy crap, like by the time we wrapped up the main event, I was like, okay, that was awesome, and on most shows I would be hyped, but I've been sitting here for like ever. And I remember the same feeling at WrestleMania, and that was like 9 hours of sitting there, and it was just like, good God, this is too much.
Also, the wait time from before we could even enter the arena, that's another.
That's also by virtue of the fact we showed up as early as we did.
Yeah.
And the thing about WWE shows being so long, I don't know what benefit they get from that, because it's like, shit, if you cut an hour or two off the show, focus on building up what you have there, and maybe you can maintain that hype throughout the show, and like that feeling can be sustained instead of like draining people of their friggin' energy. And plus, like shit, it's not like you take an hour or two out and you drop the price of the ticket. Shit, you could probably raise it if you drop a few hours off.
And my thing is like you're doing 2 events in the same building the next 2 nights, and so you're starting that off with a 6.5 hour show to then be like, okay, now watch the next 5 hours. Like, it's too much.
And a lot's just.
I know there's a brand split. I know there's a shitload of titles, but good God, like we gotta, like maybe the cruiserweights just don't air on a pay-per-view every once in a while. Like you move another thing to the pre-show, you can work out like some other stuff. Like we can figure this out.
Like I'd love to like honestly know what the benefit is, because the longer the shows goes, the longer the shows go, the more people you have to pay. So like, what is WWE getting out of having the shows?
I think the big thing for them is they want the big four to feel like big and important, and they have the window because they're the network and they can do whatever they want. But like to me, even though this is a big four pay-per-view, like I don't look at this card and go like, wow, they really stocked this with like stuff I gotta see.
35 goddamn matches.
Yeah, like I don't look at it and say like, boy, like this was
you like something here.
It was a WWE card. Like that's what it was. Like if you were putting out, like if every time the big four you were like, we're gonna get 10 matches and like 6 of them are gonna be like never before seen dream matches that we're gonna knock it out of the park with, like sure you could extend that runtime, but if you're just doing like just the next line of WWE shows, like there was nothing distinguishable from this from, you know, the last month's pay-per-view. You know, Brock is there, that's pretty much it. If Brock's not in the match, it's just another WWE show. Like, so you don't have the type of stuff going on where it's like you can just extend that and be like, this is our big show, because you look at the card and just go like, no, this is your big show as in longer.
Thank you all for tuning in to our review of SummerSlam. That is it for us. We will catch you later. Peace.